Blam blam. Hello and welcome to this week on the book club. I'm just being a
It's a
dickhead.
week in general.
Yeah. Hi, I'm BurrowsRed. I am the dungeon master for tonight. I am joined by, as always, some ever lovely players. Starting off with Friendoboi, who plays Terra.
Oh, heck and howdy. I'm Frendo, who plays Terra, the half-elf paladin of vengeance. I'm getting better at it every week. Oh, now I'm gonna stuff it up in the outro. Uh, every time. I don't really do a lot of other things on the internet. But there's a world anvil, and someday it will be updated with recaps. Stay hydrated, Mel.
Hi, I am Mel or Mlevson. I play G, who is in Asmar Barg Road, and I still haven't figured out how to. Like, I have a monk cleric, and she's a merrick. I can't figure out bard and rogue in a word that I don't hate.
Yeah, you just said Barg, and I was like, what?
I don't like barg.
That sounds like
I
Barf.
don't like barg. Bogue?
Bogue.
Rogue.
Anyway, I don't know what I was going to say. I do things. I do stuff and things. I started streaming again quite recently. I accidentally took a 5-month break. It was supposed to be 2 weeks. But I'm back now. Hopefully for longer than 2 weeks.
Chips.
Hi. My name is Chips, and I was a dog on a mushroom last week, and I kind of missed that form. So I'm gonna see if I can turn back to that one soon. I make some music. You're listening to it right now, and I am busy with creating a website for my t-shirts. So yeah, that's it for me.
I'm muted? No, I'm not. Hello, I'm Jimmy your cat. I play a friend who is a Eldritch Abomination Warlock, and I somehow forget that every single week. And I'm not doing a lot at the moment, but go to my Twitter and look at the pictures of my cats. They climbed a tree today, and it was very cute.
Hi, I'm Pastel, and I stream on the internet, and I don't do a whole lot else these days, but I play Temi, the Furbolg Circle of the Moon Druid, and I'm here to have a good time with my friends.
And I'm Alishiera. Hello. I play Eludere, who's my shared monk. Deadass almost forgot my own character's name for a hot second. Moving on. I just exist on the internet. I'm back from not being there last week for reasons, which I explained in my Discord, but I'm back now, and that is all that matters.
Yes. So sorry, I had to put a very important thing on there. I exist on the internet. I'm BurrowsRed. I just finished a very successfully funded Kickstarter, which is big excite. And now I'm back to doing my regular stuff. I have a sticker club on Patreon where we're doing Druid stickers for the month of November. So check that out. Very important. Other than that, I think that should be about it for announcements wise. But we will get into tonight's episode after a very quick recap of what happened last week. So if you didn't catch episode 8, it was a lot of talking, which is not a bad thing in the slightest. We chatted up with Lucas, the Tabaxi boy who basically should not be allowed outside. And the book club attempted to work out the different rumors that were possibly circulating about them, and they had a bit of a discussion about their public image. They've since then discovered that no one truly really hates them, just maybe a small amount of dissent and dislike among some of the Night Guard. They did also discover that the Night Guard now essentially runs the city. Lucas is also part of it. And he's just chilling, having a great time, being chaos as always. Also, the party discussed their next moves, which is to head out to the Serpent Lash Manor, essentially, and I take this verbatim from how essentially that conversation went. A man approached them, lost his coat, and told them to go into a spooky haunted mansion and then disappeared. And then the party was like, that sounds like a great idea. I would love to go to your creepy vineyard. And everyone else was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. The new party, though, they kind of didn't realize that it was haunted until right now. They also bought a very expensive bottle of wine down in the tavern that they're staying at that tasted a bit interesting. A couple of the party had some drinks, and luckily only three actually finished their glasses. Good to note, good to note. Because some time during the night, despite the fact the tiny hut had been cast and everyone was feeling safe and secure in their little tavern room, some things happened. Now, this was a lot. It was in the last hour or so of the episode, so I'll try and get through it as quickly as possible for you, but essentially, I keep saying Terra, it's not Terra, but Terra is important here. G and Temi both had horrific nightmares that then essentially manifested directly in front of them in the form of an evil, shadowy Podlington, aka Heartless from Kingdom Hearts, and also G, oh my god, there's so many names floating around right now, my brain is not coping. G had the form of Terra appear before her, them both witnessing their best memories, essentially, being formed in front of them as this huge shadowy creatures that started attacking them. And as the party slowly whittled them down, everyone waking up one by one, Temi somehow not managing to actually wake up during the fight, being kind of donked on the head by the fucking weird shit that had overcome her. The party managed to whittle down one of them, the evil dark Terra, that eventually turned into G's grandmother as G was passed out on the floor and kind of did some creepy ass, like, skating her head across the floor. It was a bit ridiculous. But G nearly died. Toddlington escaped with barely any health left. And the party has essentially now awoken sometime in the middle of the night, just kind of staring around like, what the fuck has just happened? And they know that this weird goopy creature in the form of the evil Toddlington is running around somewhere. I also forgot to mention the terrain around them is entirely different. Sometime during the fight, couple of minutes in, essentially all of the terrain around them, even though they're still appearing in a tavern, very clearly have the same walls and rooms and furniture, all appears as some kind of twisted Feywild. Feywild by its own is already a twisted place. But it just looks very illusionary and the eyes are freaking the fuck out, especially for those who haven't been there before. So it's a bit of a trip. And it looks like, as they look outside, they can still see that terrain extending for feet and feet around them before kind of fading into... Because you all have dark vision, but not for longer than 120 feet. Anyway, that is where we begin. With the party having been awoken, seen Toddlington disappear through the floor, and one of those shadowy, gooey creatures dissolving into a mass of ashes on the floor currently.
I know Eludere was waking Temi up. That was kind of the last action of last session. Was Eludere? It's just like, it's not sleepy time anymore. You need to get up.
Please awake.
What?
Yeah, so I think she would just be like, Temi.
Yes?
I'm not sure how you slept through that, but you need to get up. We're kind of under attack.
Oh! I would get up out of the bed and really hurried and immediately turn to Toddlington, who's in the little sack beside me.
Mm-hmm. Toddlington is doing the same thing he does when he looks at mushroom juice. He's just frozen, still, arms to his side, legs held up. He's just
I would pick him up and then turn to everyone else to see if everyone else is okay.
Well, how does everyone else feeling? It's probably a good question.
I have 10 HP. I feel like shit.
Oh, it's good berry time.
I'm great. I'm still in bed, so
Yeah, Eludere is pretty good. She only lost a little bit of health.
Terra would probably just drop her sword and then just go and check a G's face and forehead and everything. Like, what was that? Are you all right? What was that?
That was you.
What?
That was you attacked me. And then you didn't attack me. You attacked my grandmother, who was you.
I don't think that was Terra that attacked you.
Well, no, obviously it wasn't Terra, but it looked like Terra. She fucking choked me. Not like that!
I didn't say anything.
surely
Your
you can
eyebrows spoke a lot of words.
surely you can tell the difference though between whatever that was and actual Terra.
Yes, but it was Terra. It was not Terra. It was
So
like an evil clone. You know how like you wake up in the morning and sometimes you look like me? Whatever this was looked exactly like Terra. I don't understand how that's so hard to understand. The mushroom was on the other side of the wall. I wouldn't have seen the giant mushroom.
You probably would have seen it. There was a door in between. You would have seen enough of it to like get a glimpse of it. Plus, you also have like a decent passive perception.
That's true. And there was an evil giant Toddlington. I know that wasn't actually Toddlington.
That is
and I know
still
that it wasn't actually my
around.
grandmother. It's what?
It's still around.
Yeah, what the fuck? What is the room? What is happening? Does anyone know what is happening or what brought this on?
I
No.
just realised that there's happy music on right now.
So calm, so relaxed, living our best lives.
It's that audio that's going around TikTok, the Les Mis one. There's a grief that can't be spoken.
I'm not particularly familiar with the Feywilds, but we do have someone here who is.
I'm sorry, I missed what we were doing because Lucas needed to be taken out.
This... I'm not sure if this is how the Feywild would usually look.
I mean, in parts, but not like this. This looks like something else entirely.
Would you like to roll me a...
History?
hang on. Investigation check? Double check, but I'm pretty sure it's investigation.
Yeah, that's the role that Eludere made last. It's an investigation.
It's
Yes.
a 12.
Oh, babe.
I only know my people, I don't know anything else.
It looks pretty freaky. It's not necessarily that it doesn't look Feywild-ish, it just looks like it's like the wrong neighborhood of the Feywild, if that makes sense. Like it's the kind of place that you know inherently that you wouldn't go.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't catch me there. But looks, yeah. We should be very careful.
Can Eludere, is it possible to try and track where evil Toddlington went? Like he went through the floor, but I guess Eludere will leave the room and look out into the hall and is going to see if she can find any signs of evil Toddlington.
Roll me a perception check. Oh, actually, Yeah, let's go ahead. Perception first.
19?
19? 19 is enough to know that you hear from downstairs. So when you kind of look out the hall, you're on the second floor here. If you look out and you can see a set of stairs that heads down into the main room with a closed door in the front. And from this point, you can hear some kind of muffled screaming coming from further down.
She's gonna just yell back, there's something down there. I'm just, yep, and she's just gonna run down the stairs.
Sure. What about
She'll
the
go
rest?
invisible because it's dim light.
Sure.
As soon as Eludere says that, I will quickly, I will give G 30 hit points with lay on hands, pick up my shit and follow.
Yeah,
Also,
I'm
you
going
good buried,
to.
yeah?
Yeah, I'm casting Goodberry.
Oh, yeah. Sort out the healing.
Yeah, I don't have the post open to see how many health potions and shit we have, but I will probably be taking one of them too. Because we were very, very low.
Oh, I can cast 10. So
Okay. I was going to say, does
So you
anybody
get
else
10.
need them?
Well, the only other person is me, I guess. Was anyone else attacked? I know Friend was attacked.
Eludere did. She's pretty healthy though, but she did get hit.
Okay. I might do like 6 to G, 3 to me, and then 1 to Eludere.
Just like lob it at Eludere as she's running out the door.
Yeah, just like
So they're all
sweet
1 hit
treat
point
on the
each.
way. Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, that however many berries is a hit point each.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
And you feel nourished and sustained for the day.
Yeah.
Nutrition hub. Good berry, fellow kids. Anyone else need more berries?
I'm taking one of the superior healing potions that I have in my bag, so I probably won't need more after that.
Okay. Lovely.
We'll see.
Depends how well it rolls.
Yeah, I know, right?
Did I wake up with all my legs, or did that only happen after we complete a long rest?
Completed a long rest.
Sad.
So you technically have all your legs. It's just not all of the
I
possible
don't
legs.
have my
Not the
extra
extra
leg.
Yeah.
Only a regular amount of legs.
Ugh.
It's truly why
Fucked
Friend
up.
stayed in bed. Friend was like, I don't want to face
Yeah.
today without extra legs.
Exactly.
Oh, my extra legs.
Look at those legs.
Okay. Well, Eludere went downstairs to investigate. Should we do something? While she's investigating?
Maybe we should wait until we hear from her. She can see what's going on without being seen. No thoughts on that?
What if we don't hear from her?
I
No
haven't
thoughts.
been a bat recently, so I'm gonna turn into a bat and follow.
All right. But the rest of you are staying behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna follow. So
Oh.
yeah.
All right. Are you like rushing? Like, what would you imagine that G's getting there first and you're getting there a little later? Like,
Well, my intention was to like heal G and sort of get up and go straight after that.
oh, yeah.
But I imagine that bats are pretty speedy, probably
Yeah.
speedier than a tin can. So
It's negligible difference. It's more just like if you had like a certain approach you wanted to do. But yeah, you pretty much get there around about the same time because bats can't open doors. Funnily enough, They can attempt to just like turn the knob a little bit.
But I'm also tiny. I could probably fit through cracks.
I don't think that's
Not
going to
a
be a super
keyhole.
big crack in a hallway. That should theoretically be like.
This is not a fantastic tavern.
Because it doesn't have holes in
Retcon the
it.
tavern.
Oh wow.
I'm confused. Anyway, it's not the point. First up, you have Eludere that enters down into the like main hall of the tavern as you kind of open the door just a tad, obviously in your invisible form as well, but or currently invisible. You look in to see that there are two people kind of cowering by the counter, and in front of you is a person who has this kind of gooey substance that's come up all over them, and all you can see is the side of their face is like pulled open into it, and that appears to be the source of the screaming. And it's kind of like bubbling and roiling over the top, and it looks like it seems to be like regenerating in some way. But that is what you see as you enter the room. That appears to be the only people in there currently.
So does it look like it's regenerating? Does it look like the same as not like Toddington, but how as it took more damage, it started kind of not being able to hold a solid form anymore, like that kind of same vibe?
Yeah.
Like,
You definitely get a feeling that it's the same creature.
creature.
Yeah.
She's gunning it then and gonna stab it in the back. If she's like confident enough that it's just like taken a different visage and it's the same creature, then
So this thing is currently covering this person. It will be difficult to not stab through to someone else.
She will
Which
then...
it is still possible, it's just harder.
She will then... Can she try and like cut it away then instead of stabbing through?
Yeah.
Like carve it off of this thing? Or she'll go in with... she'll just go in with her fist and like...
This will still do damage, technically, because it would be like bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, but I feel like she's gonna be... she's pretty accurate with her sword.
I would, if you were to do with your sword, it's a finesse weapon, so you already have dexterity, but I'll allow you to add your proficiency with sleight of hand.
Okay, yeah, she'll do that then and just...
Sure. And we'll say that, like, it's pretty hard. I'm going to imagine it's going to be, like, you'd have to beat... I probably shouldn't tell you what the number is, but that's fine. It's whatever. It's going to be pretty rough. It's going to be a 25.
So, attack roll plus sleight of hand proficiency?
So what your normal modifier is for your weapon, plus sleight of hand proficiency. So whatever that is, plus like 7 or whatever.
Okay. Just get a double digit and we should be fine. 14... 33.
Okay, that's fine. You manage to slice off a bit from the side and kind of like... It's kind of like if you're like attacking a vine that's like over a fence, and you kind of attack the main mass that's kind of attached to it. And just roll me the damage for me.
So that is 9 damage.
9 is enough.
Slashing.
Yeah. 9 is enough that as you kind of slice through the creature, it like dislodges from the person that it's holding onto, and you see that person at this point, now that you've rushed across the room, has fallen unconscious. And as you kind of slice it away, you kind of seem to have hit some kind of main mass of it, and you just slice straight through it. And as you do, the creature just falls into the floor, and similar to the way that the grandmother one from upstairs had, you see that it just falls away and slowly turns to ash, and the red disappears from its coloring and such, and it appears to leave, but kind of leaving behind these like residual marks around the place. And G, that's at the point where you and Terra will kind of rush in through the door as well. You see those same two people behind the counter cowering, but no one else in sight. This room as well is currently overrun with like greenery and vines and such in a similar fashion to what all the other rooms were. So this room is still impacted as well.
Is there a way to tell if this was the real evil Toddlington, or if it maybe, I don't know if it could like split itself up and there's like another like piece of it still somewhere or something
Yeah,
like
sure.
that?
Roll me an investigation check.
Oh, 19, which is 20.
Nice. So with that, you kind of look to where the main mass of the creature had attached, and you do see these small bits that are kind of like leeching off, like they're like little tendrils and stuff that are going off in different directions. But you get the feeling as because you've attacked this mass in the center, that kind of like fading ash and such has impacted the entire part of it. So any kind of part that's like reaching off or is attached to the original body has now died. So you fairly confidently think that
Okay.
there's not more.
Yeah, should probably like prop the unconscious person up, or at least like recovery position
Yeah.
or something, so they're not just like a chalk outline on the ground where they've passed out.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
And you just look up at the people behind the bar and just be like, "Am I going to help them, like at all?"
And you see that they're pretty young, like, you know, like, I don't know, like teenagers, whether that's like late teens, early teens, I have no idea, but like obviously not capable of fighting something.
Okay, I probably wouldn't say that, just be like bitches. Like,
You told us that after.
pussy.
I know, I was like,
feel bad now.
I was like-
employees behind the counter.
Yeah. Can't believe you
I thought they were like, thought it was like the barkeeper, so it's like, oh, thank God it got them, not me.
well, it was like, you know, oh, if you turn around to talk to them, I'll tell you about that. I'm like, it's not important right now. But I was like, oh wait, maybe this is important.
she would probably then, if they were like adolescents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So weak, no, she probably. Are you both alright?
Yes, we're okay. Weren't really sure what to do there, but lucky you're around. It happened so fast.
Yep, weird ooze creatures will do that. Is there a bed or somewhere that we can lay them down?
Not in here, all upstairs. I mean, I can help you lift him.
Yeah, that would, if you know which of the unoccupied rooms, it's probably good to let them rest.
Not really myself. We could always push some tables together.
Good enough.
Sure. And fairly easily you can manage to do that. Terra and G, you are in the room currently at this point. G just fluttering around.
Yeah, I'm a bat.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. I'll use lay on hands on the unconscious person. I'll give him 5.
5?
Look, red people don't have that many, and
Yeah.
look, we haven't completed a long rest. I gotta save them. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I'll carry them. So
Sure.
I don't know, somewhere, like try to get them comfortable somewhere.
Yeah, it's fairly easy to like maybe put a couple of chairs together so it's super comfy. You get the feeling that the two kids are like not people, like they don't own the tavern. They're not like sons or daughters or whatever of the people who own the place. So yeah, it's fairly easy to get them set up fairly comfortably. But it still does feel kind of eerie, obviously, with the kind of change in situation here. And they're just kind of commenting on the fact that, like, what happened.
Yeah, we're trying to get to the bottom of that. We don't know, but fortunately, imminent danger seems to have passed. Eludere will turn to Terra and Batgy, if Batgy is fluttering around Terra. And just, I'll go and check outside and see how far this has spread.
Good idea. this is probably a long shot, but I'm gonna try anyway. Would I know if, like, what the kind of environment change? Would I know if that's like a curse, or would I know like what that is? If that makes
Sure.
sense.
You can roll me an investigation check.
Okay, dokie, I can try and do that. Which one of you bastards? All right. Investigation. Okay, it could have been worse. 11.
Unfortunately, you just can't quite be sure. You do know that magic like
Okay.
that exists, for sure. It's just that at this point it doesn't appear to be like some kind of between this and the previous main hole leads.
I mean, I'll try it anyway. Because I don't have dispel magic prepared. But I do have remove curse. So it's, well, I mean, like, it's just affecting a one creature or object. So I'm like,
You get the feeling that it wouldn't work on like an area.
Yeah.
Because it's not like cast, or like the thing wasn't cast on an object or a creature. So it would be not quite what you're looking for.
Much to think about. Well, heck, yeah, I suppose I'll just wait until Eludere comes back.
Yeah, you guys are all in the same room still, so. Like, this is one whole big room, big open plan seating here.
Eludere will look at Bat G and be like, do you want to, like, and she'll point to, like, her hood, like, she can sit in her hood if she wants to, as, like, Eludere's running.
I would love that. I also have a question for the DM.
Mm-hmm.
It specifically says that while I am a bat, I keep my intelligence, wisdom, and charisma scores.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wanted to use performance to be like, I understand you, like, bat. What's that one where you act the game where you're like, oh, I'm doing a thing? Charades. If I wanted to do bat charades, would you let me do that to have people understand? Because I can't speak.
Yeah.
Okay,
that makes sense.
I'm
it would be a
going to
roll,
like
just for the hell of it, but
I'm going to bat charades at Terra that I'm going to go with Eludere. And then I'll land in her hood. Because I'm very small. You might not see me. She doesn't have great perception. I need to let her know that I'm going.
Go roll me a performance check.
Okay.
Is it like with like non-speaking Disney animals? How they just sort of will, like, find a little pattern and like point or whatever.
28.
You're fine. You managed to appropriately convey your message. And I'm sure she gets
really
the point
adorable
especially.
Little squeak.
Yeah. She gets the point especially when you land in Eludere's hood and basically just like sit up and just like grab like the back of the hair as like reins, like
Ratatouille.
Yeah, Eludere would literally say, I'm taking your girlfriend with me, by the way, and leave. And just walk out the door.
I'm taking your girlfriend, bye.
Yeah. It's Mr. Steal Your Girl, just grabs Bat G and runs out the door.
For sure.
Now I don't know how this interaction worked because G is in Eludere's hood, but if she uses Cloak of Shadow, she's shrouded in shadow to go invisible. I don't know if you just see a little bat doing this just at speed, just like
it's not a super important like moment. And also like I don't know. I feel like it's whatever you're wearing, right? Like if you can hold a person and risk like running around with a whole ass person in your arms, I feel like that should apply to them.
Sick. She'll do that then, and then she'll like full speed, just like action dash.
Yeah, sure.
Running.
Yeah, and yeah, sorry.
Just to like, she'll just pick a direction and run for like however long to just try and gauge if it's like she'll probably like go for like about like a minute maybe, and then if it spreads further, it's like okay, probably shouldn't just take two of us like further into this.
as you head out, it's probably like, with your movement, it's like how much around? It's like 80 feet around or something, I think.
It's 100 feet with dashing.
100 feet.
So 30 meters, well, 33 meters roughly per 6 seconds.
Rain. It takes you close to a minute to reach about, honestly, fast maths, God, pity my brain, to reach 150 feet away from the general location. And as you kind of get to that 150-foot mark, you see that kind of Feywild terrain as you're like running through. You're seeing the moon beating down on the trees and such around you with these big gnarled roots that you have to step over and watch. As you get to that 150-foot range, you just see the terrain just stops. The grass at your feet no longer is grass and just becomes the paved cobblestones underneath your feet of the city. In a very clear, straight line around you.
Yeah, that's weird.
I make excited bad noises.
Say less. And then Eludere will just head back towards the tavern, probably.
And
I think it would take her 9 seconds as well, because she's got 100 feet of movement per round, which is 6
I thought
seconds.
you said 33 feet per round.
No,
I'm like,
meters. Sorry, I converted it to meters just to gauge. Yeah, that was my bad.
Because the spell says feet, my brain was like, feet, yes, that's what we, yep. But yeah, so much shorter than that. I was like, that feels like a really short amount for you. Like, doesn't seem right. Anyway, not the point.
Before we head back, I'm gonna squeak and go for a fly to see if there's like, if it's like 100 feet in every direction, like centered on the tavern where we were.
Sure.
I want to see if it's our fault. Basically.
Give me a perception check. With no disadvantage, but I think you get advantage on perception-based throws anyway, as a bat.
Let me check. I get advantage on perception checks that rely on hearing.
Oh, okay. It's still
So it would be
disadvantage. So
disadvantage. Okay.
Disadvantage total.
Okay, so my first one was a 6, and I was like, that fucking sucks. My second one was an 8, so it's still a 6.
Which is still
but
good for you, I'm sure.
Do keep my... Is perception wisdom? Perception is wisdom, so it's a 16.
16. 16 is enough that you just kind of, instead of like going straight up and just being like, yes, I see immediately everything that is going on, you just kind of like fly around the perimeter a little, and just kind of take a little bit more time to do it. And as you do, you recognize that it appears the center of this mass, this 150-foot range, is centered on the tavern.
Cool. Yep, we definitely did. I will fly back to Eludere. And serious squeak that we have stuff to talk about when we get back to the tavern.
All right, let's head back.
Sure.
Just like fist bumps, tiny bat wing, just like, yeah.
So... Sure, you head back. I was debating something and I decided not to. Sure, head back. For the hell of it, now that you've kind of traversed a little bit more of it, how about you both give me investigation checks again?
I'm retiring this dice. 14.
18.
So, Eludere. So, you just kind of looking around, you just kind of trying to spot things. You see lots of things kind of flying around, and it feels like there's a lot of movement. Either that's like trees that have randomly appeared in certain places that are kind of like moving their leaves and all that kind of thing. Eludere, this is the first moment where you kind of really hone in on your environment, and then as you're running back, you kind of feel like you're about to fall. You see this tree root that's coming up, and you're about to lift your foot, but you know it's not going to be fast enough, and you're just preparing yourself, getting ready to tumble, when you see your foot go directly through it. And as you do that, it's almost like the illusion is shattered around you. And you realize that this terrain is just superimposed on the environment around you and is not truly here. Instead, is just purely from some kind of magical source. Or was from some kind of magic. Which you would recognize as the spell that Dark Tudlington when he was in.
So, can she still see? Is it like it's just kind of goes translucent, so she can still see the illusion, but she recognizes it's illusion, or it's like just gone?
Yeah.
It's just everything looks normal.
It's not gone. Definitely not gone. But you just kind of it'd be like. I'm trying to think of an example, but I can't really think of something off the top of my head. Essentially, you're just kind of seeing it like. I don't know. It's just superimposed onto it. You can see the original buildings underneath and all of that kind of thing. And you just kind of see this like faint fading around the edges where this kind of like illusionary terrain appears.
Like in Skyrim, when you clip into a mountain and it has like, you can see the outline of the mountain around you and you're like, I'm inside the terrain. This is probably not good.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, well, before it had felt like this, you'd been transplanted to an entirely different place. Instead, now you recognize that you are actually in exactly the same place.
Okay. Yeah, she'll probably just say to G, it's an illusion. I don't think we actually went anywhere. We should go and tell the others.
And you bat nod.
Yeah, and she'll like put her hand like through a tree trunk and like wave it to show G that fake all along. Damn, they got us.
Been spending all this time trying to dodge tree branches.
Yeah.
Just the whole time, didn't need to.
Showing off my dexterity to G, and I didn't need to. It was all a lie.
But yeah, after a few more seconds, you managed to get back. Terra, was there anything that you wanted to do while they're gone?
I'm probably just quietly kind of reassuring like the frightened teens, I suppose. God, I'm old. The youths.
Yeah.
And probably just checking that the unconscious person that like that their pulse is okay, things like that. Just gently trying to wake them up, not like, you know, shaking them like, for the love of God, like nothing like that. Just trying to bring them around, you know, that stuff.
Yeah, so the person who was unconscious fairly quickly comes back to consciousness, especially after the healing as well. You just kind of get a feeling they're a bit groggy and whatnot. There is definitely like a very pale pallor to them. Looks like they, you know, were having a hard time. But they look to be okay. Relatively okay. Possibly scarred for life, but alive.
That should be right. It's not someone that we know that we encountered the last time we were here.
No, it is NPC number 2. Like, they're not very remarkable at all.
Sorry,
is NPC number 2 like kind of OG?
Well, NPC number 2 specifically in Northmount. So, like, I don't know. You coded it. It's just like
NPC _ Northmount _ 2.
Yep, that's it.
They have
that's
a perfect replica in each city.
Yeah.
Oh no, not like this.
Like the cabbages guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
My brain just went, imagine being named unremarkable by your parents. Wow, what a dog move. Yeah, I mean, just try to gently reassure them everything's okay. If they have a room, just get them to go back to their room. Like, probably walk them to the door. Things like that. Just kind of like, it's okay. We're gonna handle it. Go back to bed. Have a teddy bear cuddle or whatever, you know. And then just wait back in the main area for Eludere and G to come back.
And as they head upstairs, and the kids as well will head up as well, they have like tree branches that have kind of like grown over the front of their doors and they have to like duck into their rooms to get inside. They don't know it's an illusion. So, but yeah, they head on back in, and fairly quickly after that, you see Eludere and Bat G appear back in the doorway, having met back up with you.
Yeah, it's all an illusion. It goes for like half a minute walk that in directions, I'm guessing. I mean, in that direction. We didn't go in all directions, but
The person's okay. They woke up. I just got them to go back to their rooms, but yeah, let's discuss with everybody, I suppose.
Certainly. It won't take you very long at all to head back up to your rooms. You see friend Temi and Attenborough in there, sitting, chilling time.
What
I'm
did you
gonna
find?
land on the bedhead. I've decided to process my emotions by being a bat, so I will be for the full hour until there's a reason for me not to be a bat.
Sure.
yeah, so it's an illusion. And Elodie, like any overhanging anything in the room, will just like run her hand through it.
Oh, exciting.
I killed the other one, so I'm not sure how we get rid of this. Maybe we just have to wait it out. Maybe we need to actively do something.
Maybe I should try dispel magic.
I mean, if you have it, it's worth a shot.
Always. Let's see. Dispel magic. Okay, so any spell is of 3rd level or lower will end. Again, I'm guessing this is.
Have a look. It will not end immediately, but there is a save, right?
Yep.
Yes. So the DC. Oh well. Ability check using the spell casting ability. Okay.
So you should have a spell check DC. I just need to know what the save is.
Yeah.
So you
10
cast a
plus
save,
the
actually,
spell
no.
level. Yeah.
Right. That determines the DC. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So feel free to roll that check.
Yeah. Second. Hang on, I need my book.
My little dog.
There
She
would
has
be
bad
no
ears too.
there would be no benefit to us both casting it, right? Because it's the same area. We're pretty much standing together. But could I give advantage to Attenborough?
Not for the spell, unfortunately.
Okay.
But you definitely can obviously cast the spell again if it doesn't work. Like you're not like
Yeah.
locked out of it if you don't do it the first time.
I rolled a 18.
18? An 18 would definitely work.
Okay, cool.
So with an
It's
18,
plus something else, but I just cannot find it.
honestly, it's not super important. But I think it would be a spell attack bonus. I'm guessing, theoretically, off the top of my head. Which
Yeah.
yeah, that would be like plus fucking 6 or something.
9 probably.
Yeah, who knows? Something ridiculous. Oh yeah, wisdom. It'd be your wisdom plus proficiency.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that, the terrain around you slowly begins to dissolve. If you didn't see the illusion before, you definitely do now, as just kind of like all of the trees and such around you that had appeared from before slowly begin to disperse, and you see the spell fading from out the window, also from the directions all around you and such. And as quickly as it had appeared, it's now disappeared.
Well,
Nice work.
thanks. Glad to be back into the tavern, and I mean it was all greenery and everything, but it was uncomfortable. So what was that?
Mm.
Dunno.
Don't know.
It was
Nothing.
not good.
Nothing.
I'm
happened.
guessing, yes. Can we make a roll to see if we're familiar with a red ooze creature?
Oh, sure. Roll me nature. Nature seems the most sciencey.
19.
19. 19 is enough to recognize that it is an ooze creature. Which means that, you know, they aren't as tied to like a tangible form. Plenty of creepy stuff that happens with them. They can move through something that is as small as an inch wide. They can also usually exist in places that are mostly unhospitable for anything else. Yeah, like that's the vibe that you get from this creature. It was an ooze of some description.
Was the nature check? Can any of us try that, or is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
just?
yeah. You're welcome. Yeah.
Look, I mean,
I got a
watched
nat 20, but I'm still a bat. So I understand potentially everything. I got a 23, but I'm a bat.
Nice.
So I can't explain.
The additional bit of info you get from that then would be that you recognize it as like kind of this would have been something that maybe you this would have been something that you maybe saw in like a book or something on those lines, especially kind of small things that you've maybe collected over the years. You maybe came home with like a small jar of this before and didn't really realize. Not this particular one,
Yeah,
but a different kind of
I
one.
have a tiny little ooze living in my like kitchen with a note to Desmond saying, "Don't open this."
Yeah. You recognize this as an oblex. So an oblex is a type of ooze that feeds off of and a lot of them can do a lot of really fucking creepy shit. Specifically, apparently, turning into your loved ones and invading your dreams and memories, as you already had witness. But now you have a name for it. And Terra, how did you go?
Well, rolled a 4. So
The
plus
fours.
5, it's a 9.
The
The
fours
curse-
are
That's
back,
so good
baby.
for a 4.
The curse of the force continues.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna. Yeah. So I'm good.
Yeah, not quite enough to recognize it's an ooze, but it's certainly a liquid form. Like it's a
Sure
it's a
is.
non-tangible form, basically. Yeah.
I mean, it was some kind of ooze. One can deduce from the wine, because we drank haunted wine, apparently.
Oh. Oh.
It could have been anything, really. And not the wine's fault.
There was a bit of texture to that wine that you should not have in wine.
Pulpy.
Yeah, but you never know. Maybe it wasn't the wine. We should still go to the house, right?
I mean, yes, I'm not saying we shouldn't go, because now we have a personal stake in going, because...
Oh, okay, it was definitely the wine.
Ah.
Um, Eludere's just say, I'm just going to be right back. And she's going to go down and just jump the bar and see if there were any more bottles of the wine.
Yeah, so as you do that, you do notice that there were no more. As the barkeeper had mentioned that it was the last one, he definitely wasn't lying. It wasn't like a sales gimmick to be like, you know, oh yeah, last one, and he pulls out a new one like the next day. Like, definitely no more. Yeah. For those of you back up in the room, though, I need you all to roll me a perception check as you hear a soft whistling outside.
Oh boy.
That's
hang on.
all of us, isn't it? We're all
Yeah,
in the
except for Eludere,
Yeah,
who went
except
down
for
to the bar.
Eludere,
Yeah, rifling
Right,
behind the
yeah.
bar.
I got a natural 20. I'm pretty sure it's
Ooh.
27.
Yeah, that would be very
Nice.
large.
Yeah, 27.
18.
29.
29. Holy crap. I got a 17. I was just checking whether or not I get advantage, but I don't. Because goggles don't help with hearing, funnily enough.
Oh no.
Oh, wait.
Okay, so technically this is based on sight. It's just that you heard the noise which alerted you to it, which I'm getting you to make the check for, if that makes sense.
Okay, well, this is going to be worse, but yeah, it's way worse. So 17.
Oh, that's fine.
I got a 9 before I disconnected.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I thought your camera just turned off. I was like, okay.
I thought our whole internet died. I freaked out, but the stream kept going.
Yeah, I've got no drop frames either, so weird. And G, how did you go? You might have said earlier. I just didn't
29.
hear. 29. So highest is 29. Anyone who rolled over a 15, not very hard to see. But you know, sometimes dice aren't very nice, 21. As you kind of hear this loud whistling noise, you recognize it as someone whistling. Some kind of creature or person is whistling. And as you look outside, you see it in a similar position to what the original book club members would recognize as the same place where you saw them before. The vision of the man with the jacket and the hat, looking like kind of like a bit of a cowboy, just kind of whistling to himself and walking off into the distance, heading outside of town. Out. So
Suspicious.
Oh, look, there he is. The ghost man.
And you're saying that to yourself, I'm
Shall we
assuming.
follow him?
The ghost man.
Who?
I'm looking out the window. How high up are we?
You're second floor, so you could technically jump out the window. Might like break an ankle or something,
I'm
but
going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to snap my legs, but I will jump out the window and follow this ghost.
Sure. Roll me
I'm
a.
still a bat, so I'm also going to jump out the window and follow the ghost.
Sure.
Swan dive.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw. I'm specifically trying to make this better for you by making it a saving throw, but I don't know if that helps.
Still 0. Oh my god, I rolled a 1.
Let me just roll the damage. It's not going to be much because damage in D&D is
Holy
not much. But it is a solid 6 bludgeoning damage, which would absolutely just fucking murder a like regular person.
Ow,
Just
ow,
luckily-
ow, 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 I landed funny, ow.
Oh no.
I only have 3 legs and I hurt both of them.
Is this just like it's like the lady that falls over stomping on graves?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Wait, does Eludere just like walk back? She's like, okay, there's no more, and she just sees
Yeah.
stepping out the window.
Pretty much, and G following out after as a bat. Pretty much exactly what you see. What about everyone else?
Oh
Well,
my god.
I was going to say maybe we should try and get a full rest, but
I think we better follow them.
Oh my god, I think yeah. Uh let's stick together maybe.
Tapped
Where are
out
they
for like
going?
30 seconds. What is happening?
I turned around for a for a short period of time. Ah dear. Right, okay. I'm going to take the stairs
Yes.
and and um yeah, follow the bat. 'Cause that's
If you
most things.
understood Bat, G is yelling coward.
Yeah, well, we we would be able
Much
to.
appreciated. Oh my god. Um yeah, anyways, going down the stairs
Yeah,
and
I
everything.
think
Seth.
hearing Bat G say coward, Temi would be running down. Like, oh, I can still get there quickly.
For sure, for sure.
Temi, no, don't fall. Oh no.
Eludere would just jump out the window. She's like, oh,
Sure.
I
Look,
don't know
you
what's
have
going
a
on.
decent enough modifier that's fine. It was only going to be a 10.
And she's got slow fall as well, so
Yeah.
that's why she just jumped.
You'll be right. What about you, Terra?
Probably, she's probably like, oh, I was really looking forward to that last bit of sleep, and then just kind of picks up her bag, like, okay, like, and then
Technically, you have an hour of strenuous activity before you can continue your rest. You don't have to continue it in the same place. So
yeah, but you know, like for interrupted sleep, like you wake up, it's not the
Yeah.
same. It's not the
I
same.
understand completely. But you do eventually kind of convene outside. I imagine Friend is just kind of like taking their time now that they've just fucked up their legs a little bit. But G's kind of like doing
Hobbling.
circles. Yeah. G's doing circles at this point. But yeah, you manage to chase on, or like you go to head off after him. Doesn't look like his pace increases or anything like that. And as you're kind of getting a little bit closer to him, kind of rushing on after him, in this night, it's fairly relatively easy to see. You're still getting to that, it's very close to that new moon stage. So there's not a lot of light around you. And a lot of the lanterns and things are like kind of dull at this point. You get the feeling they'll be refreshed at some point soon. But essentially his pace doesn't increase. And as you get a bit closer to look at him, you kind of see that like his long leather coat is just kind of like patched together in some places, like it's fallen apart. And across his back, you see he has resting on his shoulder, like kind of like, you know, when you're like holding something and you rest it back. He's got a pitchfork over that side and a wide brim hat over the on top of his head that's kind of like threaded through. And there's like dirt and such that's gathered on the bottoms of his pants legs and on his knees and on the corners of his elbows and on his gloves and all of that kind of thing. He's just wandering out, whistling away. He doesn't even seem to notice really as you all kind of get closer and closer to him there. But as you look at him and you watch him, probably G and Eludere, maybe Friend with their passive perception, probably pretty close to Temi as well. You notice that he doesn't actually leave any marks on the ground. You know how like when someone walks through, even though it's paved and stoned and whatnot, you kind of see like there are like small stones that he steps on that are still there when he leaves. He is not actually disturbing anything immediately around him. And obviously knowing that he is the ghost man, you kind of pick up a lot more of the ghostly aspects to him. You see him like kind of shift or phase through part of a wall quickly as he walks past a building. But otherwise continuing on, chill, blasé, having a great time.
This is probably nothing. Do we know the tune he's whistling? Does it have any significance? I'm just thinking if there's like anything we could learn about this guy other than he's a ghost and he has a coat. Like
Yeah, sure. Roll me a history check? History.
Don't
Okay.
forget his cool hat.
Let's have a cool hat.
it's Supre bag. All right.
Kmart tote bag.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, history?
Mhm.
Oh my god, that's actually decent. I can't count. 21, I think. Hang on, wait. 21 maths.
21. Okay. As you kind of are like sitting and well, not sitting obviously, but like continuing after him and listening to him, you kind of get the feeling that it's some kind of like, you kind of get the feeling that it is how do I put? It's kind of like a very like jovial tune. Like it's the kind of the equivalent of like the work song in Snow White. Like that kind of vibe. It's definitely not like this time necessarily. Yeah, the feeling is probably like a timeless classic, but it's not current. You know, he's
Not
not singing
Ariana
like Good For
Grande.
You. He's maybe singing like Paramore. You know?
I actually understood their reference.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm hip with the U's. Bloody hell.
I still
Okay.
got it.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, you guys just gonna follow behind him more.
I mean, yep.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else out like on the street? Like there wasn't anyone else like out in the like has anyone seen us leave or like because we're not disguised anymore, presumably. So
No, because people don't actually hit us. I mean, I'm disguised. I'm a bat.
That's a good point though. Roll me a perception check.
why did I say that?
Well, you're looking out to see if
Okay.
there's anyone around.
Yeah, but like I always say it and it's a good idea, but like +0. Come on. Like when will I learn? Okay. Right. Okay. Get advantage because it's side? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is in dark vision though, so you could technically get the disadvantage. But I'm not that mean
But
tonight.
okay, thank you. I was like, I'm having a little victory. I need this. 19.
19.
Ooh.
19 is enough to notice that there are no people out that shouldn't be out, if that makes sense. You know, you're not seeing like people rushing home from like the bar or something like that. But you are seeing a lot of people around who are kind of dressed in what appears to be uniforms. Or like as close to as possible. They at least are uniform to each other, kind of positioned at different blocks and things around the place. But they are specifically trying to stay out of sight. And it's kind of like as you notice one or two of them, you begin to notice a few more.
Are we still within the within that 150 feet from the
Yeah, I'd
tavern?
imagine at this point you're probably still within that range.
So any of the guards like reacting like because there was the illusion and then there's no longer an illusion? Are there like is there activity that the guards are taking like notice of us or they're like rushing to an area or like investigating or anything?
You don't get the feeling that they're like rushing, if that makes sense. You do get the feeling that like they're a bit unsteady. They're definitely like watching your party, at least the ones that you can see anyway. But you kind of get the feeling from like just kind of the way that they're generally composed, that they seem relatively calm, which could be weird, could not be. You saw through the illusion. They might have. You're just not sure. But they're definitely looking relatively calm, the ones that you can see at least.
When I see them, I'll kind of point them out to everybody else as we walk. Like, I think that's their guard equivalent. Just something to be mindful of. Just so that everybody knows, like, we're being semi-watched, I guess. But
Good to know. Are you going to talk to this guy? Or are we just going to keep following him as he's whistling?
Are you not entertained?
You're not entertained?
I mean, it's enthralling, but
It's a nice song.
all right. Eludere would just like stick faced with everyone, and then just,
Yeah.
when we talk to this nice man who's just enjoying his evening whistling.
For sure. And yeah, you continue on out. And now at this point, he's kind of broken the city edge. So definitely heading outside of the city at this point. And having noticed a few of the guards, now you see a few of them, like kind of as you're like throwing your eyes around a little watching them, you notice that a few of them have headed into the tavern at this point. And like a few more are like converging around the general tavern space, and kind of moving away from the walls a little. You do notice that as you're kind of like moving through, you see that there are people on the walls as well that are just kind of moving through, and you see them make signs to each other to signify different things, but you're not quite sure which. It seems to be some kind of message amongst themselves, but coordinating nonetheless. And yeah, as you exit the city, which you had come in, this is the same exit that you came in on. You just continue after this guy. He's not fast. He is just chilling, killing. You see that he's kind of like
Killing.
Yeah.
Oh, now. Hold on. Change of
Shanks a beggar on the way through, keeps going.
We do nothing about it.
Yeah. He's just like, I want to chase him. But yeah, you head on out. He doesn't seem to be calling out to you or anything like that. His pace doesn't seem to be quickening. In fact, a few times he kind of slows down just to see what you do, and as you kind of just like match pace with him, he'll just keep going.
If he slows down a couple of times, I will yeet forward and stop being a bat directly in front of him just to see if he stops.
Sure. As you do that, hang on, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I didn't practice this before we started today. Oh, well, howdy, ma'am. If I might move right past you. And
I'm
he'll
having a
smile
problem
and nod
with
in your
this.
direction.
Where are we going? She's gonna like step aside and walk directly next to him.
Sure.
She's not gonna stand in his way because he asked so nicely.
Sure. He's like gone to like move around you, and you've gone to move, and then you do like the little like thing for a bit. But eventually you do like file in beside him. And he points off in the direction of the forest. He's like, over them there trees? I think it's just a little further than that.
I'm just curious. You were like whistling outside our window to get our attention so that we'd follow you. And this isn't like a weird, creepy thing where we're stalking a stranger through the streets at night.
I'm not a stranger to you, am I? Surely I left.
Well, we've met once.
You remember me? That's
Of course
good
I
enough at
remember you.
least. So what does that mean?
What do you mean, what does that mean? There was a guy on the streets who just disappeared in front of us and left his coat. Oh, good point. I'm sorry about your coat. We don't have that anymore, but you appear to have another coat.
Still have my coat, darling.
How does that work? If you took this one off, how long would it take for that one to reappear?
Haven't tried it myself.
Can I have your coat?
Sure, it's quite nippy out here, I suppose. And he'll hand you his coat. Just like placing it over your shoulders.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to do. I'm not putting it on. I'm just putting
Yeah.
it over my shoulders. And then I'm going to flick my eyes sideways like every 5 seconds, seeing if it's going to appear. But I'm done with the conversation for a little bit at least.
short. Thank God.
I'm
'cause
gonna
I did
thumbs
not
up
practice.
at the people behind us.
I was loving it.
But yeah, you continue out. The coat doesn't seem to reappear at any point here, but it does seem that he's heading out like kind of towards the northeastern side of the city. So that would have been on the right-hand side as you moved in the general direction of the vaguely dark area that you'd seen on your way through. Seems to be quite a distance away though. There's like a faint track in the ground that kind of leads out there, as though like maybe carts and things have headed out there at this point, but it doesn't seem to have been used for a while.
Would the group be able to have heard that conversation, or do I need to, like, pew-pew a message at someone behind us?
No, I think they're pretty close.
Yeah.
So...
Eludere's just gonna lean into probably Terra and say, know exactly what is going on right now with this, but we did leave our horses and things in our rooms. Are we going back and getting them? Are we just going to keep following this guy? What are we doing?
Good question. I'll kind of not like yell, but kind of, like project my voice a little bit, so that he can, well, hear me. Ghost ears, I don't know. Sorry, what was your name? If you don't
Haven't
mind.
given it.
Could you?
I guess. Gotten this far. Do I actually ever give him a name? That's a really good question. I have a sheet filled with people and not his. Where is his name?
I have Googled cowboy names, and I have 129 cool cowboy baby names.
Give me a
Baby names!
cowboy names. Give me a cowboy name. Right now.
I love it,
think
but
it's gonna be.
Oh my god.
Wait,
about
can we use one
Wyatt?
of the cowboy names from that meme?
Oh yeah, from the
Yes.
baseball
Oh
game.
yeah.
You all give me a name. And give me a last name
Otis.
too.
I love it.
Wait, Nash! Nash is kind of close to Lil Nas X, which was suggested in our chat. Can his name be Nash, please?
Yes.
And everyone can blame Chips for that.
Name's Nash.
Okay, Nash, where are we going and why are we going?
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
We're heading
Where'd
out
you
to
come
the
from,
manor.
Nash?
I figured that was why you were heading out with me.
Sorry, I missed the first part of that because I was laughing.
We're heading out to the manor. Figured that was why you're coming with me.
We can always tree bus. Back to our stuff.
No tree there, but
We paid. We
Oh,
paid
at the
for
manor,
it.
there's
oh,
no
like
tree.
I
Multiple
just meant like
days.
there's no tree like in the town, so it
Oh,
just would
that's
be
okay.
like
You
another
can
like
always
close
skedoot.
thing. Yeah.
We haven't. We haven't rested. Are you feeling? If we get to the manor and there's more of the ooze things, is everyone going to be okay with that?
I mean, I can put another tent once we get past the tree line. He did originally say we were just going just past the tree line.
There's plenty of fine places to rest. Just past those trees.
Nervous about the implications of rest from a ghost. The final
will-
rest.
You guys will rest in peace just past those tree lines.
Yeah. It's just a gorge.
Pieces.
Yeah. Rest in pieces. I mean peace.
Rest
I mean
in
rest.
Peacefully.
But I'm guessing you still continue anyway, despite the reservations. So yeah, you walk on out. As you kind of reach the shoreline, you see that it kind of dips into a small creek before rising again to kind of that darker background from before. Eludere is probably the only one at this point that can really truly see like fairly far away. So it is still dark, it is still nighttime. And she has 120 feet of dark vision as opposed to everyone else's 60. And I think friend actually maybe has 60 as well. I have 90. Nice. Enough that the three of you
Friend
then
has 120, not
Yeah.
60.
Yeah. Thought I said that. I don't know. I might have
Yeah.
thought it
That's
in my
not
brain and
60.
I didn't say it, you know? The important thing is 2 of you have 120, 1 of you has 90, the rest of you 60. My friends, how dare you? No one's human. I can't say no one has dark vision. Anyway, the point. Making dumb jokes. You head up past the tree line. Wait, no, you are human.
Chips, what am I to you?
Wait, you don't have dark vision. I'm so
Yeah.
used to having a party full of
Eludere-
people with dark vision.
Eludere-
I don't know if I do either.
Well, I was gonna
Yes,
say
I
I think
Eludere
most Furbolgs
will.
have dark vision.
Eludere will just tap Attenborough on the shoulder and cast dark vision on him, so he also has 60 feet of dark vision.
Sure.
Versus a light source, which might bring attention to us, unwanted
Oh
attention.
shit. Oh shit. Thanks.
See
Yeah,
as I do.
Furbolgs don't have dark vision either.
What?
Oh no, I don't know if I can cast.
I use the moon to see. There's no moon. What am I going to do?
Guy.
I don't know
We could-
why.
we could-
Sorry.
I was just gonna say we could link arms like school kids, like
Yeah.
like the
Taking
girls
a
in
tall
Battle-
child to work.
Does anyone want to hold my hand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not scared. Give hand.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
More scared of the dark than of the fact that friend may
Yeah.
have tentacles.
Not right now.
Ooh.
For some reason, I always imagine Attenborough as like human plus, if that makes sense. Like, obviously envision him as human, but imagine that he's just not actually human, if that makes sense. Don't know how to explain that in any other way. Except, good to know that 2 of you don't have dark vision. Great. Anyway, the important thing about that part was, as you're getting a little bit closer to that darker mass in the horizon line there, you kind of start to spot the beginnings of vines around you. But Nash, instead of pointing towards that general area, will point off to the left. And just a little side part of this little creek with this tiny little like crossing that would be easy to cross without any issues. You see that there's kind of like this little like clearing around a few sets of trees there where there's like an old fire and whatnot. It looks like it hasn't been used for quite a while. There's quite a bit of like dirt and such that's kind of gathered over it. But you do get the feeling that that would be a fairly ample camping area. And he'll turn to you all and just say, perfect place to rest there. Manners right to your right. Just gotta pass past those vines and you're right there.
Can I ask what your stake in all of this is?
It's doing my job.
Which is?
And he'll like motion to the pitchfork on his shoulder. And you kind of like see a few more things. You see there's like a hole attached to his belt. You see that there's a small like shovel, spade I guess, if they're that small, attached to the other side. You see a few like a couple of extra pairs of like heavy duty gloves attached to the front as well.
You're a gardener, groundskeeper.
That is my profession.
Typically, that doesn't require gathering, luring, attracting people to a grounds.
I make them pretty, and people come. And it's at this point too, during the night, where like, as like you kind of getting that small amount of filtering moonlight as well, you're definitely kind of seeing that more ethereal nature to him. You're kind of seeing like little glittering parts to like kind of his shoulders and his face and things that are reminiscent of something ethereal. Real.
Is he aware that he is dead? Like, is there any way that we can, like, is this like a, I see dead people? Bloody hell. I looked at our chat at the wrong
I
time.
should never make descriptions ever.
Beautiful. Yeah, like, does he know he's a ghost, or is he just kind of going about, like, his business kind of as if he was still alive? Like,
roll me an insight check.
okay.
Have we seen him walk through anything that a normal person would avoid?
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
I haven't had that thought independently, so you're on your own.
You aren't quite sure.
Can Eludere insight check him that his objective isn't to like make us into compost, seeing as he's a gardener?
Good point. Roll me an insight check.
20.
20 is enough to know that he seems to have fairly like well-meaning intentions. Like, he's not like gonna turn around and be like, "Wah," like stab you in the back with a pitchfork or anything like that. Honestly, he just seems incredibly blasé, and like this is any other day for him. This is not an out of the blue occurrence. This is pretty normal.
Right, are we gonna rest for the rest of the evening then, before we proceed?
I will cast my tent again.
Sure.
Unless anybody says, no, let's go inside, which would not be good.
Sure. Also, just to kind of give you like a gauge of like what time it is roughly, you're looking at like the 4 o'clock mark at this point. So fewer extra hours of rest, you'd be looking at like 7, 8 o'clock, something around there. You went to bed like relatively late, not super late, but relatively late. So that would be the time where you finish your long rest. But otherwise, you're looking to do that, cast your hut, that kind of thing. Sure. Just casting your hut. That's it.
I would want to, like, so wait, sorry, I missed. How long would we have to rest until to get the long rest?
Roughly, you've gone about halfway.
Okay, so if it's about 4 now, then we would be to about 8-ish?
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, honestly, I probably am getting that wrong. More than likely, you probably went to bed at like the 10 o'clock mark because these people actually sleep. So you got 2 hours left.
Adults.
I know, can't relate.
I mean, if we can finagle it so that everybody could still get a long rest, but we sort of take a watch.
Yeah.
would wanna do
You
a
won't be
watch.
penalized for having a watch. Like it is as long as you are resting is the main thing. Obviously, sleep if you can, but if someone actually stops to have a watch, that is fine. You won't be penalized.
Yeah, Eludere will offer because she would have had her 4 hours. She would have been doing just like light activities. She would have been getting up to
Yeah. Technically,
do
she
shit.
just needs like rest time from this point.
She
like,
doesn't need to like meditate though. I can good 4 hours or something. Keep an eye out.
So yeah, it's 2 hours remaining with your rest. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, but you would have slept earlier.
I'll keep
Well,
an eye
I
out.
mean-
Everyone can sleep. I'll keep an eye out. It's fine.
I know I got basically all of my HP back from the healing, but she's just gonna pass out. She's gonna whoop.
That's fair, that's fair. Yeah, is the rest of you sleeping? Just Eludere doing the watch?
Sure. Let us know if you need any help.
I will. Feeling not too bad though, so we should be fine.
So as you do that, you will settle into your tiny hut and that kind of thing. Would you have ritual cast that? Cast it.
The hut? Look, I'm just going to cast it rather than ritual cast it because
you have a spell slot
I do
left.
still
Yep.
have 2 spell slots left. And if this rest gets interrupted again, I'm just going to throw myself off cliff.
There's no cliff
And then I don't
here,
need to sleep anyway.
unfortunately. So, but yes, that's fair enough. So just with checking, because once the 10 is up and you've gone to kind of rest and whatnot, Nash will dip his hat to you in your direction before heading off to the ground. You see him kind of move across like what looks to be like old cart tracks near the front and moves off until he is well out of clear vision. And you kind of see this like shadow in the distance that kind of disappears behind the vines. It's kind of taking a sharp left to go inside. But you can't see too much of those vines either from this point. It is at this point that we will take a break for tonight. So I hope that you have all enjoyed, including players. It's very important that you all enjoy it. Does anyone have a question for break?
Name your cowboy baby.
Yeah, what would you name your cowboy ghost?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I love that for you all. So we'll be back soon with the continuation of this episode of the book club. Turn off music and then bye. Blam. Hello. I forgot completely what to follow that up with. We are back. Yeah, the king is back. We are back here for episode 9 of the book club campaign. The party has rested. We can't say if it has been a well rest because technically it's only been 2 hours and right in the middle of the heads in combat. So, you know, just stress. But there was some rest to be had. They've camped out on a small little clearing just beside a small little creek. Plenty of trees around, nice, good. And as the sun is kind of rising, they get a little bit more of a glance at the manor beside them that is currently mostly obscured by large, creeping vines with large thorns atop each and a myriad of browns and greens among them, both simultaneously alive and also dead in a way. Kind of like, you know, when you've left your plant to wilt for too long. Everyone knows that feeling, I'm sure. But yeah, you see a series of vines extending for as long as you can see currently, and a small spire in the distance that signifies the manor far off from.
What happened to the ghost when we decided to have a nap? Did he just sit outside?
So the
He just
ghost
walked off, didn't
Yeah, he walked off and headed into the entrance, following like cart tracks that kind of like vaguely go around the front, and then went inside.
Right.
Sleep well, everyone.
Surprisingly well.
Better than Mushroom Dream.
Luxurious nap.
I slept so well, my ankles are unbroken.
Oh wow.
Pretty good.
Brand, you also have your additional legs. currently.
And I grew all these. And I just wave all my legs around.
Hey!
Yeah. To be honest, that's going to take some time to get used to.
Oh, you're muted.
Well,
It took me some time to get used to it too.
Also, anyone who slept near Friend as well, you're like shaking off cobwebs in the morning.
This is something that's like happened a couple of times before. So G will have like pulled her covers all the way over her head for like basically the entire night, so that if there are cobwebs, they're just on the blanket rather than on her face.
Fair, fair.
Full cocoon.
okay.
Yeah.
So we can see the manor from where we are.
You can see enough, like you can see the spire of the manor, to know its general direction. But you can't necessarily see much signs. They reach like about 10, 20 feet high in some places.
Damn. Well, that looks nasty.
Yeah, it doesn't look pleasant.
As I'm pretending to be an Englishman. I'm not sure about this. I'm just not sure about this.
So what was the plan? What exactly are we intending to do again? Just look into it, get to the bottom of something.
I
Just
really
vibe.
don't think we
Basically,
had
yeah.
one.
The plan was there are ghosts here, and a ghost told us to come, so we did. That's the whole plan.
I mean,
So we
it
just-
also- well, yeah, I mean, I guess we just go in, but it sounds like something terrible happened here, and obviously whatever is in that wine points to shit being terrible. I mean, I don't think wine's supposed to make you...
Certainly not.
The plan
No.
should probably be go inside and don't eat or drink anything that we didn't bring in ourselves.
But what if it looks really delicious?
We can try it for
Then-
science.
Really
No.
very good.
We can, friend.
Then you
we
can put it in your pocket, and if we're in danger, once we're out of danger, you can do some spell work on it and find out if it will kill you, and then you can eat it.
We will eat it straight away, friend.
Don't
Yes,
put
I
anything
think
in
he's
your
right.
mouth.
It's already quite old. It could.
Why not
go
try it
soon.
now?
It doesn't have a long shelf life, maybe.
Okay, I'm just gonna say then please just keep a thorough account of anything you consume while we're on.
Or even just put it in your mouth. If you put it in your mouth and it tastes bad and you spit it out, just let us know about that as well.
Okay. I'll tell you
Or if
about
you lick
everything
it.
I put in my mouth.
I didn't think I...
Lovely.
I didn't
Friend like
think I
picks up a
needed-
leaf. I put a leaf in my mouth. I spit it
And
out.
how
And
does that make
Timmy's writing it down.
She put the leaf.
Okay, we're we're
I
not
put a rock in
actually
my
on
mouth.
the
Spit
property
it out.
yet. You don't
Sorry,
have
Roddy.
to do it yet.
Oh, okay.
He scribbles it out.
No, Temi were like, she didn't describe the mouth yet. All right, that's fine.
Must investigate further.
Requires further investigation.
Yeah, I didn't prepare purify food and drink, and that's on me, honestly. For
I
not
mean, we literally
anticipating
haven't
that.
even started yet. You can prepare whatever you want.
But I already decided it. It took me like half an hour. There's so many.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, it's the morning.
Yes,
I'm
God,
like,
please.
Actually the morning now.
Yes. One
7
good
a.m.
berry can last you a whole day.
Gib
Just keep
card.
that in mind.
Gib card.
Give me a second.
Card be upon ye.
For the first time ever, I bet it'll be a cowboy card.
Cowboy.
No,
Boy.
I mean, there is a cowboy card. There is a card in this deck that looks like a cowboy, but it's not this one.
Oh, pain.
Because I'm only doing Major Arcana now to take out, like, 700 random cards.
Yeah.
I will send it to you. And I will send in actual chat the one that looks like a cowboy.
No. But otherwise, it's fairly early in the morning. There's like a slight wind. It's a very clear day. Very relaxing. Otherwise, pretty pleasant.
Besides that dark corner there, you should never go down, go to that dark corner.
That shadowy place.
What's that, Madeline? No. You don't touch that, no. Okay.
Well, I guess we should prepare ourselves for the day. Something to eat.
Yes.
Put leaves in our mouths.
Temi writing it down again.
I'm already eating. Just handfuls of
Dirt.
yeah, like moth of a
You
tree.
know.
I don't know.
Describing it all to Temi.
All right. Well,
You gotta look at Temi and be like, I hope you're ready to deal with this for the rest of your life.
Yes, very ready.
I ate a mushroom. I ate a
Oh,
mushroom.
good.
I
Tell me
ate a
about it.
mushroom. I ate a mushroom.
See
I ate a
now.
mushroom.
The only way to make me go away is for you to die.
Good.
Not for Friend
not
to die.
to kill friend. Yeah, it's you have
Like
to.
you.
stay.
Yeah.
I'll find
I
a
lived
way
quite a
back.
long time.
I'm purple. That is going to be an arc druid.
Oh my god.
Oh, that would be so cute. Just a message like every day. By the way.
Yeah. Eradicate all the apples in your vicinity. Trust me.
It's for the better.
If everyone's
go.
sitting, yeah, well, I was gonna say if we're like kind of getting ready, Eludere did want to go up to Temi. If I like just eating or doing stuff.
Yeah.
How are you feeling after properly sleeping? I guess.
A little odd. Better now, but I saw some really weird things. Toddlington turned into mold and disappeared.
I hate that.
Yeah. And for a split second when you were waking me up, I thought it was real.
Yes, well, it was fairly concerning. You didn't really stir with everything that was going about, so.
I wonder if it's for the better that I was asleep, but I wish I could have helped.
I mean, you didn't get hurt. That was a help.
Otherwise, I'm fine. I just want to get to the bottom of it.
Well, I'm glad that you're okay.
Thank you for waking me up.
And I'll do it again if necessary.
I'll count on it.
And Eludere is going to pull out of her pocket what she'd been like kind of working on over the last couple of days. I know that you're a little bit far from home, and as someone that has been away from home for a while and has had my fair share, I haven't had a vivid dream of someone that I cherish turning into mold disappearing in front of me. I'm going to be honest. But I have seen a fair share of not the most pleasant things, and it is even more unsettling when you're so far from home. So if you do ever need to talk, I only sleep for 4 hours anyway, so I'm always available pretty much. And she's gonna pull out. She worked on, instead of metal, it's a leather bracelet that has amethyst worked into it and little silver blackberry blossoms and blackberry leaves, and just tie around Temi's wrist.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes, it was very handy in the library. I know that both you and Attenborough have kind of an aversion to metal, which is usually the medium that I use for jewelry. But I picked up a couple of skills that will mean that I can use leather instead. So metal-free.
Thank you. That is so thoughtful. Thank you. And Temi's like, you try not to cry. Oh.
Eludere's doing that, even though Temi is like a good like head and a half taller than Eludere, because Temi's sitting and Eludere's standing, she's doing like the patting on the shoulder, like, yeah, like, you're good. She's like, all right. I guess we should get prepared for potential horrific, tormenting visions or whatever is going to meet us on the. I mean, it might be fine. It might just be a creepy winery. Who knows? With the
Fingers crossed.
a dead gardener, undead gardener, ethereal. It's gardener, and he's kind of weird.
I kind of like him.
He seemed
He has
okay.
a fun accent.
I think it might be really nice
Yeah.
in there. Maybe.
Ella just is like looking at Friend's aesthetic of just wait, are the legs gone now? How long has it been?
It's probably not been 10 minutes yet.
Yeah. It's
Like-
there.
It's like, yeah, that checks out. It's probably going to be fine for Friend.
Let's go.
Let's time to go to a winery.
Alright. So, if you're looking to head off, there are cart tracks, fairly well treaded, that go in through the front section, which was where Nash had headed on in. Otherwise, you do see some faint tracks that kind of go to the back of the building as well. But there's still vines everywhere. You can't really escape them at this stage. It's just whether or not you want to go on the front or the back, really.
Gonna look at Attenborough specifically because he's done tree magic before. Just wave my arms a bit and be like, "Can you do anything about all like this? Like tree magic?"
The issue is that I think I can make more instead of making them disappear. Unless you have perhaps blight to just char the entire place.
We want to make the plants angry before we go inside.
Yeah, I also can't do that a lot, and I think I can only cast it on one plant, so I don't know if it would be worth it.
For range,
is-
just for like some perspective, imagine you are driving past a fairly extensive winery and the vineyards they have, they are all covered in thick, dense vines that extend 10 to 20 feet into the air. So just for some idea of like scope here, there's a lot.
Yeah. At the moment I can only speak with animals.
can-
Have you got a
I
Yeah.
can talk to the plant.
Yeah, see what they say. See what they say, and maybe we can ask them very nicely to give way, mayhaps.
Yes. Okay. So Temi will like bring out Toddlington as well, and like kind of go up to a mass of the vines, and just start trying to speak to them. Like, hello, howdy.
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 Certainly, you can certainly do that. I do just want to point out too, is this near the camp that you're looking to do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right. So you approach the biggest mass of vines that you can see in front of
Yeah.
you. Past your you can just do it, can't you?
I can. Yeah,
Inherent
furbolgs
thing.
can just do it. Yeah.
Yep. And you speak to these vines, or you say hello to these vines, and you hear. Wait, can I talk back?
Yeah. Well, it depends if the plant has a language, but I should be able to understand
the plant
it.
has a language.
Oh.
Because I think speak with plants gives them a language.
Right.
I don't think they actually inherently have one. Let me just double check, but I don't think they do.
So the speech with beast and leaf says you can communicate with beasts and plants and have advantage on charisma checks to influence them. So it doesn't specifically say.
So they just might not speak back to you.
Yeah. So maybe
Makes sense. But they don't
I
have
can
a
try and
language.
persuade them.
Sure. What would you like to say? Anything in particular to try and persuade the vines?
Temi is very uncharismatic, so she would be very matter of fact. So, hello, we are here to peruse this place. I actually don't know what we're doing here, but we don't mean harm. And
Not be afraid.
my friends and I are here for a good time.
Is
No.
Temi speaking in plant, or is she
Yeah.
speaking in common and we can understand her? She's speaking in plant.
In plant, yeah.
That's a shame, because if I'd heard that speech, I would have given you inspiration on the convincing.
Ah.
You saw Temi go over there with Toddlington after just.
Oh yeah,
having
but I
talked
didn't
about
know
the
the
fact they were
speech was
talking
going to be that
plants.
bad.
You don't just choose to cast it after you've seen how bad it is. It's not like
Performance is so bad I must help.
Literally, if she just started and she was like, "Hello, I don't know why we're here," I would have given her inspiration on the last kind of half of the speech.
you meant to give it before they do something, not just after you've seen the result.
We haven't even seen the result yet.
Well, you know what I mean.
Results. There's been no dice reveal, so it still counts.
Oh my god.
On a technicality, rules is written, as they say. I suppose.
I mean, she's not getting that anyway because G couldn't understand. But
I thought
It just
was a
looked
good
awkward.
speech. So yeah, make
Moving like a
a
plant.
persuasion check for me. I think
Yeah.
you get advantage. You said to persuade.
Yeah, I do, yeah. Lucky I did. It's 13.
13.
I rolled a 3 and a 14 and I have a -1 to charisma.
Oh. So yeah, you move up to these plants, and keeping in mind everyone else around at this point is like a distance away, not super far away. You're not on the other side of a football field or anything, but just away for the moment. Sorry. Bad thoughts. Fenris will forever be in my brain. Anyway.
Don't give me advantage, I'm good.
I will choose to fail. Yeah, so you speak to these plants, and you feel your intention set with them. And as you look into these vines, obviously not really necessarily where to look. They're just a bunch of vines. They don't have eyeballs. But you look at them, and you see them kind of move a little in response. As one goes out to reach for your leg, like a small vine reaches out underneath and goes to latch around your ankle.
In a bad way or a good way? Like a comforting.
I don't know how. Inside check
is it
plot.
entangling me or is it?
It is definitely grabbing you.
Okay,
But
I'm gonna
it's very
choose to believe
slow.
it's nice because it's slow.
Okay. It is definitely slow, but it definitely grasps around your ankle. And you feel yourself being pulled from that point towards it. Still slowly. And then another one. will reach out, wrap itself around your shoulder, go underneath your arm.
Bye, everyone.
This is all still very slow.
At that point, can I grab Temi and like pull her back? Like, okay, we're not.
You
Let's
can,
go.
but the
Is
vines.
that supposed to be happening?
Are you comfortable with this?
So far, yes. If more come, please help.
The vines have had a decent hold on Temi at this point. It will take a strength check to try and pull her out.
I mean, I'll try.
I was hoping holding the baby would persuade them. Fine,
Who would ever
like
wanna
big
hurt a
lady,
baby?
right? Two babies looking after each other.
Get that one. Strength
Who
check.
gave them the license?
Dirty 20.
30-20, it is enough to manage to pull Temi away from the vines. You see like one like unfurls around her ankle, the other unfurls a little around the shoulder, enough for you to be able to pull her back. And it's at that point kind of like tiny little like arms start reaching out from points around the vines towards Temi. Still that slow pull, but they reach out towards you.
Can I?
Tell me what? I thought you talked to them. They now want you.
Can I do a kind of an insight check or a check of some kind to kind of see if I can work out their intention?
You can communicate with them, so I'm gonna say you can. I think anyone else would
Yeah.
struggle.
Okay.
But yeah, make an insight check. Or Arcana, whichever one is better for you. Think insight would be
Insight's
better.
better, yeah. 19.
19. It is kind of the equivalent of... It's going to give the game away, but it's fine. It is kind of the equivalent of when someone is drowning and someone goes out to help someone who's drowning by being in the water, and then they try to pull you under.
Okay.
For whatever reason,
okay.
these plants are trying
Okay.
to pull you with them.
Right. So...
And you kind of like see them like moving around in this mass that kind of, you recognize that you can't actually see individual plants in this. It's actually just like a tangled mess of vines.
I think they need help.
Oh.
I don't know that the vines are vines, per se.
Whoa.
Vine-ish.
How can we help?
I think we maybe need to look around a bit and see what we can do. See if there are any clues or anything. Because if we drank the wine, correct, and shadow people hurt us,
Uh-huh.
maybe that happened to them and it didn't work out so well for them.
Oh, shit.
Maybe didn't all those people die here?
Yes.
I don't think they were eaten by vines.
But maybe they had the wine.
Did they turn into the vines then? They were manifested into one piece of giant plant?
If I do a divine sense, do I get anything near these vines? I can tell you what it is again.
No,
real
I do
quick.
remember, because
Oh,
I
okay.
should by this point, shouldn't I?
You think I would too?
Technically, they aren't, but I'm gonna say you get undead vibes.
Okay.
For the
I mean,
classification purposes, they're undead.
I mean, I'm getting something with my sense. I mean, if all those people died here and there were pieces of an ooze creature in the wine, maybe, I mean, it's probably good that we're here to investigate. Maybe whatever creature caused this has affected the vines as well.
Now that we're like kind of in the property, can we see the garden anywhere?
So at this point, you're still on the outside, very much still on the outside. But you do
okay.
see the part where he'd walked in to the vines. That's like a kind of very clear path, like maybe 200 feet away from where you're currently at. And then you just have to take a bit of a left. That's the direction that he went. So you don't see him now, but you saw where he went.
Should we make our way in?
I think so.
Friend nodding so much it just shakes everything. Oh god, stress.
I think once we're inside, let's try to stay close to one another, just in case.
Yeah, I don't want anyone getting dragged
Yes.
in.
Prepare fire, maybe, just in case.
Yeah, so it's a really bright morning too, so you're not having any issues with visibility, anything like that. Still a very bright day as you head on further. You follow this cart path further up till it meets a bit of a fork where you're able to head off to the left down the direction of where the gardener had gone. But during the day, you don't see anything. Or like at this point in the day, I should say. You don't see anything. You do see a pitchfork currently stuck into the ground, like it's been rested there. Maybe 50, 60 feet in front of you. And you see a couple of mounds of ground that have kind of been like moved around, not in like any kind of suspicious shape, more just like being what's some word for it, where you like lift it and you move it around.
Bill?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Like you're going to plant something, yeah.
Can we tell how freshly it's been tilled?
Very freshly. Like a couple hours.
we should move his pitchfork so that when he comes back, it's not where he expects it to be.
Where would you like to put it?
I don't know. I didn't think that far. Maybe just over there.
Just like throw it and see how far it goes and be like, yes, there.
Terra, can you throw it? You're strong.
What if that upsets the ghost?
He seems pretty chill. Oh, speaking of being pretty chill, do I still have his jacket?
Yes, you do. You do still have his jacket.
Very curious to see if he comes outside with a jacket.
It smells like a sweaty gardener's jacket.
Great!
You still want to be wearing that?
Do I have prestidigitation? Can I just make it smell better? I can. I'm gonna make it smell better.
Sure.
If he asks for it back, it's gonna smell like me instead.
Fair.
So we're still kind of out on the grounds. Like I know we're not inside yet.
Yeah.
Near where we are, is there like, I don't know, like a Hagrid's hut or like a gardening shed, situation? Like
Not at the front here, but I know what you mean. Like some kind of place where like tools would be and that kind of thing. Not that you can currently see.
Okay. Because my thinking was like, if there's like a gardener's hut, because we haven't seen any dead bodies or anything. So I'm also wanting to keep a lookout for that. Okay. Am I throwing this pitchfork?
As far as you can.
How do you talk to ghosts? Nash.
No, don't tell him. You'll ruin the prank.
Not
Nashville's nice this time of year.
I'll try throwing a guess.
Sure. Where are you throwing it to?
I don't know. Okay. Probably not like in the middle of like the vineyard where it's gonna be annoying to get it out. Like maybe just kind of on the edge, where it's like, oh gosh, it's
How
over there.
annoying. Yeah.
But it's not gonna be like I have to, bloody go get entombed in vines to get it out. I don't know what this is, but
roll me an athletics check.
actually athletics. Okay, and not just strength. I'm just excited. Numbers 18.
18. 18 is enough to throw it a fair distance away that it is inconvenient, at least, to collect it. The kind of area around you is wide enough for, say, 2 carts to go past, and it's definitely very clearly meant to be some kind of like grand entrance. Like it's meant to kind of show off the lands if they were actually in a good state. And the kind of the part that you're on is like kind of new, fresher parts that would be like replenished every couple of months and whatnot of like different kinds of produce. And yeah, so you throw it off in that like more newer part and you just ditch it off into the distance. You hear it just go chonk into the ground some distance away. Very inconvenient if he comes back for it.
Give friend a little bow.
Hee hee. Good job.
Thank you. I guess keep going, look for a good way to get inside. Oh god, what if there are vines over the door?
I was just about to say, as you're kind of like standing closer to them, they are still reaching out for Temi. They are slowly doing it, but if you stand for too long, they will grab her again.
I can move.
Yeah. I more just meant like
just in a daze, like,
you're just
fine.
You just occasionally do like a little sidestep, just like
yeah.
Eludere will like every time Temi moves as well, like interpose her so they move with Temi and at least be like a buffer, so they have to either go through or around her to get to Temi.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can vines be intimidated? Do you think?
I mean, you can try. It's something that you haven't done before.
Oh, what the hell? I'll try it. Look, it's not that like glare at them. She's trying to help you. Cut it out. Oh god. Okay. 15.
15. You look to these plants and you go to speak to them and you feel for a moment as one's like reaching out, it stops. Kind of like little snail's eyes. You know how they like go out and they stop and then they just do weird shit? Basically, essentially that's what happened. It stops for a moment and it continues to reach out. For a moment, it even looks like it's about to like curl around and go towards you instead when it slowly shifts back to 10. Still very slow. Very easy to maneuver out of the way of. Very weird.
Does it have any, like, does it, with someone between her, like, because Eludere's standing there, does it, like, as it gets close to Eludere, does it kind of go around distinctly, or does it, like, kind of go over Eludere, like, also wrap around Eludere on the way through?
It's definitely, like, going for Temi, but it doesn't really care too much for what's in the way. Like, you kind of see it will, like, go over your shoe, and it will just kind of, like, land on the other side and then try to go over the other one as well. Like, it doesn't look like it's grabbing onto you. And, like, if you let it kind of do that, it will, once it gets to the other side, turn around like it's going to, before it just kind of like, it's kind of like if a snake was moving over there, it's just kind of making a trail around you. But it's definitely heading for Temi.
Can she try and just, like, pick it up and like put it back on itself.
Yeah, you sure can. It's fairly
Like
easy
a
to do.
snake.
It will
Yeah.
do that, and it will just turn around and be like, guess I'll go again, and just keep moving.
Yeah, Elodie will just keep doing that.
Just move
Dropping
around.
it back on. Yeah.
course.
Okay, so the vines want to go for Temi after she spoke with them.
Assuming they think that she can help them because she was speaking with them. That's the only thing logically that I can think of.
I think they like her.
You think they like her?
They want to hug her. But they're too pointy.
I would hug
Sad.
them if I knew that they were safe. I'm not sure.
Do the as like moving as well? Do each of the bushes they're like centered from different points? Like they're kind of pulling towards like each individual bush as we're going past it?
So there are like you kind of have that like discoloration in each of them. So like they're like ranging from browns to green. So there's very clearly different plants in there, but they are still part of that same mass. There is a mass on the left, however, and a mass on the right. And they are independent of each other. There's no like crossing vines or anything across the middle or anything like that. But they are still very clearly a part of that same mass. It's just that there are individual plants within each that are the ones that are reaching out. There are multiple vines reaching out. Hopefully that answers your question.
And both left and right, as
Yeah.
like Temi moves, that like each side will try and Can Elodie, if they're not actively going for her, can she move closer and just like see if there's? Because you said they're like little hands. Or...
They're acting like hands, like they're
Yeah.
kind of moving
Grouped
like
together.
a wrist and like
Yeah.
lifting up like what would be considered like the hand to be like almost like a head kind of deal. There is like a certain kind of like humanizing element of it. I don't know really how to explain that, but yeah.
Like Little Shop of Horrors, like Audrey 2. The big...
I don't think I know that one.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'm sorry.
For
Post a
us.
picture.
Like a big talking like Venus flytrap?
Yeah. He's got like vine arms.
Oh.
Oh, maybe. Very much
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, can she like look at the base and see if there's any like distinguishing weird features that a normal shrub wouldn't have apart from the tendrils?
Sure. Give me an investigation check. Sure. Obviously not the giant monster
No.
part of that. But definitely the vine part of that.
I thought that was a 2. It's a natural 20.
Nice.
I need to stop using this dice because you can't see the numbers, but it's so pretty.
So
21 total.
21.
So not super impressive.
As you're kind of giving a bit of a look over it, you probably don't see anything that's not uncharacteristic of vines per se, but you definitely do feel a magical element to them. That is obviously not inherent in most nature. Nature itself obviously has its own magic, but this is magic imposed on these plants. And they don't appear to show that in any physical way. There are thorns and things on the side, which you would expect for something like this. But otherwise, it's just fucking magical. Magic stuff, man. That's the vibe you get.
She'll go back to standing with Temi, but she's like doing the like watching you plant.
Sure. I will just pose, because I didn't think about this as a comparison until right now, But think like the vines from like Maleficent, right? Like that's the deal you get in here.
Okay, yeah.
It's like they're very large, very imposing, very scary looking. But they're not acting with harm intent currently.
Ooh, bad touch. Don't touch me with that. No more hugging, thank you.
I no longer would like to be near you.
Yeah.
The vines and I are not best friends anymore.
No. My friendship with vines has ended.
Ended. Oh, God. Were we going to go around and investigate to see if we can go in or get more information before Temi becomes one of the vines?
I mean, you could fly up and see if there's a tree inside so we could tree bust through. Do you reckon we could tree bust through these vines? We'll probably have to go back to
if
another
it's
tree.
a big plant,
A big
doesn't have to be
path that you're on that leads up to the house.
I thought you said that it was covered.
No. So there's no part of this path is covered. There is very clearly a very direct line, but I don't know if like at some point
was
I'm
confused
confused
too.
that.
Because I thought that the vines were there and they were keeping us out.
No,
Which is why we were chatting to them so that we could go through.
No, because the ghost walked in the same part that you're in. He walked in this gap. It's just that it was further away. You were speaking to vines near the camp. Just to clarify. So like imagine if you've got road, two sets of vines.
Okay.
There's a very clear path in this.
And they're not going like, nah, fuck off.
No.
Well, sorry we made Temi talk to plants. I thought we needed the plants to cooperate with us.
Well,
You
we
don't need
learned
them
something.
to, but it can help. So
And now she's being petted.
Petted.
Well, I guess we just continue on with them. This was an accidental detour.
that's okay. You're learning more about the place. So that's all good. But yeah, you can continue on. In front of you, you see a like a fountain that kind of like signifies like an entrance where like carts originally would have pulled up to the front, would have allowed them entrance in the front. From this distance, you can start to see the beginnings of the building. But the vines are like grown to a degree that like a lot of the rest of the building is covered until you get a little bit closer. Like they're just obscuring your view, not physically on the building. Just to put that out there. Because I can see how you got confused. But you can still see that tower that I mentioned from before, like up in the sky, but it is visually obscured by the vines where you currently are at the moment. And as you kind of continue down this path, you do notice that the vines that are curling up around your feet are still continuing after you. And then each of you hear a little pat. Pat. Pat, pat, pat. 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 Pat, pat, pat onto the dirt.
Mr. Ghostman?
Is it ahead of us or behind us, did you say?
Ahead of you. Ahead of you.
Before I forget, just to clarify, because my brain is not absorbing information at the moment. The tower, is that like part of the manor?
Yes,
Can we assume
yes.
from the direction? Okay.
It's like a spire of the manor. Like it's like, you know, the fancy people who have like fancy towers in their house. That's
Lucky.
yeah.
I'm really double content, sorry.
I'm getting real Downton Abbey vibes from this place.
Yeah, no, exactly. Think that exactly. Except old and seemingly overrun with stuff. But, you know.
Oh.
There's the patting.
Is it coming from like ahead of us on the path or like within the vines, like ahead of us?
No, it seems to be coming up from like just ahead of you a little bit. And as you get kind of a little bit closer, like continuing on, you see that there is a spade just gently patting the ground, digging it up a little around it, patting the ground around it. You see a few little seeds fall into the ground, into the little holes before it's patted over.
Nash?
Good
Is it
morning.
Nash's? Yeah, is it Nash's shovel that we recognize that was on his person?
It very well could be. Like, it looks pretty similar.
A spade is a spade. Troubling.
Oh my god. Right.
Divine sense? Anything?
Divine's like
A ghost
"Damn
undead,
it."
I guess. So I suppose.
Tom's like, leave me alone. Stop. Okay.
Okay, the seeds are planting themselves, so that's great. Good for them.
I will clarify too with the sense. You do, because you see like a kind of glittering form around people. Obviously, you see the same one that you see around G every single time that you cast this. But you do see with the spade on the ground the kind of rough approximation of Nash's form holding the spade and planting seeds. Just to clarify that.
Okay.
But yeah. Morning, Nash.
I mean, I already also yelled out, Nash?
But doesn't seem to be a reaction to your words.
Huh. My sense can kind of see his form, but he's not responding, so either he's not feeling sociable, or I don't know if
Maybe
he
he can't see us during the day either.
Maybe you shouldn't have thrown his rake and now he's mad at you.
Wow.
Wow.
I can't believe
Wow.
you've done this.
I can't believe you've done this. What was the time? Oh, when we were interacting with Nash, it was
4
like
4 a.m.
super early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before sunrise. Okay. Could this be?
The last time we saw him, being like the original group, it was like it was nighttime, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe we just can't see him and he can't see us because it's daytime.
Yeah. Maybe. Oh.
If I go stand in front of him,
No reaction.
kind of wave.
Yeah, nothing.
Phasing through you.
Pick up his axe. Spade.
Is what?
And my axe.
Pick up my own axe.
Oh my god.
You already threw his pitchfork. Throw his spade.
Coward! You're
All right then. I will try and grab the spade.
Roll me a strength check.
Okay. Yes, I can. Oh no.
This will essentially be the equivalent of you trying to move an object that is already... I can't really think of how to describe this, but like it will be fairly difficult because it's not like you're trying to take it from someone who is not paying attention. It's that you're literally trying to stop it from going on its determined path.
Turn Terra into a Karen.
We are bullying a ghost.
I mean, look, I have the power of God and anime on my side, so I believe. I believe.
Just to
Okay,
say
come
this out
on.
loud, it will be over a 20.
All right.
That's fine.
Just to say this
We
out
can
loud.
try.
Come on, you bastard. All right. Believe and achieve. Nope.
Believe and achieve 4.
It's a 5. So 8 total.
Right.
Oh.
So as
What do
you
I
go to
win?
try and wrestle this spade from the ghost, your arm instead kind of follows the movement, and it's like you're just going with it. In fact, as it kind of digs into the ground, your palm like kind of goes with it, and your hand just like hits the dirt around it. You aren't able to wrestle it from him.
Terra!
Terra,
Go
how
on.
nice of you to help him.
Poor Terra is going to become the BBEG at the end of this fucking game.
Wrong initiative.
And next
Sarah,
time,
why
any
won't
of
you leave this nice ghost alone?
next time any of you need something heavy lifted, I am going to remember today. So
Terra will remember
this.
this.
Oh god. All right, shall we I'm ready to move on though.
Yeah, let's move on.
yeah, I'm good.
It's at this point the vines get a little more insistent. They're a little bit faster. They've pushed it up 1 notch on the speed level and are heading towards Temi. Still able to fairly easily outrun them, but they are definitely increasing in their urgency. Do you just continue on?
Yes, but with a watchful eye on the vines.
Wait, how far
If
in
it's
are
getting
we
too
right
fast,
now?
we stop.
Yeah. Temi, do you think there's a possibility that they're trying to stop you from going ahead? What did you say to them? Would they be trying to protect you by stopping you going ahead?
Well, they might be. They didn't seem very angry. They just kind of didn't seem like much at all.
Just plain vines.
They're just kind of vibing. Vining.
Oh
In
my
fact.
god. Wonderful.
Maybe. But I think we've come too far to not investigate.
Can I get you to try something? If you proceed to leave the place where it's slowed down.
Okay. And Temi will turn completely around and walk
Sure.
away from the party.
The vines still approach with the same speed as you're heading off the path. In fact, at this point, it's becoming a little harder to outrun them at this stage. Not impossible, a little bit harder. You just have to like speed walk a little.
Shit.
Kath and Kivet, you know?
We really are in the thick of it, I suppose.
Oh.
Maybe they're waking up. It is early.
They want breakfast. Yay.
Ooh.
Oh.
I have a DM question.
Sure.
Message.
Mhm.
It says one creature I point towards within range, point, and then you whisper a message. I just need to be familiar with them, know it's there. Is a ghost technically? It doesn't say if they're on another plane of existence. Is a ghost on another plane of existence? If I point at where I know he is, can I send him a message?
The way that we rule it here is that like the ethereal plane is like pretty fucky wucky when it comes to like how it works here. Like the realms are so close
Okay.
to a lot of other realms of existence that planes of existence that it's kind of a bit like a sandwich. So it would for the class for this class as being on the same plane because Terra can see it.
Yeah, and like they're affecting something on this plane, but I didn't want to be like. I mean, it's only a cantrip. If it isn't, there's the cantrip.
Mhm.
Since Temi is now potentially going to be dragged into the bushes and eaten because G is now thinking, hey, maybe they do want breakfast. She's going to cast a message at Nash. Be like, good morning, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but your vines are trying to eat my friend. maybe?
He says in return, he'll just like have a bit of a giggle first. My vines can't eat anyone, yeah.
The cantrip. I'm replying again. They're maybe trying. What are they doing then? Why do they want her?
Does she like wine? I think it can turn into some wine after some time, but they seem perfectly content to me.
Not after yesterday. I don't think she does like wine anymore.
I don't even
Glass of
see
wine.
you. I'm assuming you're gonna cast it again.
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
yeah,
have
yeah.
a whole secret conversation.
Yeah.
He's just because you have the point, just standing there pointing at the shovel.
Temi is slowly being.
I can't see you here. I don't know where you are, but you certainly aren't here.
Can you see your vines?
I can see my vineyard that I care for.
Can you see the vineyard tangling up something that you can't see?
Milady, I'm not quite sure what you mean, but
Turn around.
She turn around.
even as he's saying this, he's still continuing to spade away. Like, there are vines that are literally, like, extending to Temi from where he's shoveling currently, and his spade is, like, phasing through the vines. They would be clear to him if he could see them, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Nash can't see the vines and he can't save us. He also can't see
Oh
us.
no!
At this
From far
point,
away.
Temi, you now have 2 vines at your ankles. And quite a few more approaching for the rest of you.
Eludere will draw her sword and she will look at Temi. She won't just do it, but she's like, do you need me to cut you free?
I might wild shape. I'm going to wild shape into a giant eagle, so that I can like return to everyone and try and pick some people up.
Oh.
And take them toward the manor.
Sure.
Because I assume that's still the plan, despite the vines.
Sure. You can certainly transform into a giant eagle. And as you would do that as well, your feet and ankles expand with such force that you break the vines around your ankle. And as you do that as well, transforming into that shape, you see this kind of like sap-like substance leaching from the vine that was around your ankle and into the ground. And that vine itself drops and does not move any further. Whereas
Don't touch
the other
the vine.
vines around it begin to kind of come at you a little bit faster now. And they are even more insistent at this point. And gone are the days of it being kind of chill. They are angry now. And like extended out fully, like a snake ready to pounce. They're coming directly toward you.
Okay.
Are we all like just like, ooh?
It's like,
Yeah, so
Okay.
Temi would be like slightly in the air,
Yep.
coming toward everyone to try and pick everyone up in a swoop with my claws.
Very easy to do with your shape as well. And as you do kind of lift into the air, you see the vines will continue on with you until you reach a certain time in the air when they seem to recognize that there are other people here. Now they've just given up on Temi now that Temi is no longer here. And now they want all of you. And they are heading at you with immense speed as Temi is kind of reaching down to come towards you. I'm gonna say probably the closest to Temi would be Eludere, because you were offering to cut them off. So for you currently, that's where the vines are heading. They are heading at you with immense speed. Anyone got any moves before Temi comes in with a little whoop?
There's no place like home and up.
Sure. Absolutely, just go immediately into the air. This kind of vine that was like extending out that you hadn't even quite seen yet had come out from behind you and just goes directly up to look up at you as you're just kind of like flying. I say look, but it's not really look. They don't have eyes. Yeah.
Plant senses.
Yeah, as you head up into the air. Anyone else?
I'm gonna grab friend and kind of like just kind of pushing them ahead of me, half carrying them, so that like I'm just kind of pushing everybody else ahead of me, so that I'm at the back.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can also turn into a giant eagle and pick someone up. Who needs pickup? Okay, I'll grab friend. Turn to a big eagle, grab friend, yeet up the other way.
Yeah, certainly. So we grab friend. That leaves Terra and Eludere for Temi. I think 2 is probably pretty reasonable to be able to pick up because G can fly on her own. But yeah, as you're doing that as well, like you feel the vines trying to wrap around your ankles and any kind of extremity that they can reach, but they just aren't able to with the speed that you're able to travel as your giant owls, or just, I don't know, launching yourself into the air or something. And as you lift, you recognize that they are not stopping. They are continuing their ascent into the air in order to grab you. It is either head further towards the manor, away from the vines, or heading out.
I think Temi would call to Attenborough, if we're both eagles, to try and like communicate to go toward the manor.
Sure.
Like head there.
All right.
Sorry, G. You just have to see us and hope.
That's where G was going anyway. She wants to do this. It's just
Everyone else is like, we're noping out of here, and G's just like, I don't want to go in your manor.
This was always the plan.
So yeah, as you're kind of able to lift off into the air a little bit, you're able to get more of a vision of the manor. You see it's about 3 stories, with a spire to the right-hand side, a big grand entrance in front of that fountain area, and it's extensive. This property is huge, and in its prime would have been great. The problem is that a lot of the upper section, the upper story, has been burned. But the remaining part of the building stands underneath, and you don't feel like there's like a huge there's a lack of structural integrity because it still holds its shape very well, nothing like that. You're not going into like a completely dilapidated building or anything like that, but it definitely looks very fucked up and is covered in some vines, but don't look to be as extensive as what the grounds are. They don't also appear to be as what do you call it? Violent as what the other ones were. But you definitely can turn toward.
Okay, so
Sorry, I'm saying it like you can't do anything else. You can. Where would you like to land, roughly?
Yeah, I was trying to think, would it be better for us to land by the door or by the spire? Because is there even an entryway in the spire that we could fly to?
There's not an external entryway on the spire. It also appears to have been mostly unaffected by the fire. Like a lot of the fire affected the back part of the manor as opposed to the front.
I guess the entrance is probably the best spot to drop everyone.
Cool.
Well, not drop. Land very safely on the Uber Temi.
Of course, completely understand. And as you head towards there, you're still kind of like seeing some of those vines whipping up and kind of trying to extend as far as they can. Some of them you see like kind of come to the end of their length before they just kind of have to curl around and just be angry. But the rest of them do still try to come up towards you. You pass the fountain. You see off to the left of you currently is like a small like gardening section, like a little like gardening shed. There's like a small greenhouse, that kind of thing. And you do see a couple of the doors open, close, and kind of wheelbarrows be moved around and things that are not manned by people. But you do definitely spot that kind of movement around here. Keeping in mind, this is still roughly that 6 o'clock mark in the morning now. Probably closer to 7, but yeah. So as you get closer to the door, you're able to kind of land softly. You see that kind of the vines are trying to extend towards you still, but they seem to have kind of come to the end of their length. And they're no longer able to reach you. Though it's kind of just like they're clawing at you when they're pretty close, so it's still not comforting. But they can't at least reach you for the moment, is the important thing.
I'm talking to Temi speaking in Eagle. Ow, with Eagle. I think the tower is like the safe place.
Yeah, I think so too.
That safe zone, that beautiful safe room they can save. Where none of those two
So the tower is still in front of the mound of vines, but it doesn't have an external entrance. The only entrance is the front door, or you imagine coming in through the roof from the back where it had been.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the main entryway and just Beauty and the Beast it, call out inside, hope for the best.
Hello. Yeah, I guess. I mean, the other option is to fly away, but
We've come so far. I think G would be very upset.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, anyway, shall we?
Yep.
Meanwhile, caw, caw, caw.
Yeah, that's all everyone else is feeling. And yeah, as you go to make that motion, you stand before the grand entrance to the Serpent Lash Manor, atop the Serpent Lash Vineyard. And that's where we're going to leave off this week. Handle that next week. All right, so that was a successful episode 9. I hope that you all enjoyed. I'm BurrowsRed. I am the Dungeon Master for tonight. I am joined by some wonderful players, starting off with Terra, played by Friendoboi.
Hi, I'm Terra, played by Friendoboi. I'm Friendo, and I play Terra, the half-elf paladin of vengeance. I don't know why I said that so weird, but whatever. Thanks for hanging out. And I don't do a lot of stuff on the internet. I mostly lurk, and then like a whole bunch of old Twitter posts, one after the other, on like every week or so. But there is a world anvil for Burrows' amazing world and the campaign that will someday be updated with recaps. Look, I'm working on it. I think that's everything. Stay hydrated again. Mel.
Stay hydrated. Yeah, I am Mel Ormlefson. I play G, the Asthma Bard Rogue. Still can't think of it. Rogue. She's a road. There we go. Yeah, you can find me on the internet doing various things under this username basically everywhere. There's links in the whatever. Yep. I'm so glad we're at the ghost house. We just need to stretch this out for a couple of weeks so that we can be at the ghost house for our Halloween episode. It'd be real sad if everybody was just like, actually, no, we're not doing this. And we just turned around and like fucked up Halloween. Ruined Halloween.
I mean, technically,
It's
either next week or the week after can be Halloween because they're both equidistant to Halloween. In fact, the second is probably closer, but you might want to do it before Halloween.
We can do Halloween on my birthday.
And you can't kill player characters on their birthday.
Or maybe specifically you have to target people on their
No,
birthday.
terrible thinking, B2.
My god.
That's it. That's my outro. Bully Burrows into not letting us die. It'd be a terrible birthday present.
Oh dear. Hi, I'm Chips. I stuff and also coming up t-shirts. So yeah. Look out for Speak Some Evil. Because there's gonna be some spicy t-shirts coming up, so what up? Next we have Le Jimmy, Le Friend.
Hello, I'm Jimmy or Cat, and I play Friend. I do the art and shit for this channel. And I'm not really doing anything at the moment, so onwards.
Hi, I'm Pastel, and I play Temi, the Circle of the Moon Druid. And plants like me, and even if they're bad plants, I don't see red flags, so I think that's a good thing. I stream mostly, most days of the week, and yeah, I'm excited about next week.
As I was muted, and I'm Alishiera. I played Eludere, who's Bear Shadow Funk. Yeah, I am starting lots of projects on stream, which is good and fun and exciting. You can find me at Alishiera on any socials that I have and use. And if you can't find that name, it's because I'm not on that social media platform.
Good way of putting it. I am BurrowsRed. I just finished a successful Kickstarter, so get ready for Kraken pins. But I also have a Patreon sticker club. We're doing Druid stickers. So if you want some Druid stickers, keep your eye out. Or come on Patreon and get them for yourself right now. But I've just suddenly forgotten how to speak. Can I show... I haven't even, approved this with the appropriate people, but I'm going to show you off something because I just remembered that it exists. So everyone here likes the wisdom saves, right? Like the book club and chocolatiers, right? Yeah, damn straight you do. 'Cause
No.
you sit here every week and you do stuff.
Hates them.
Look at these. Look at these.
Oh yeah, you have full approval from the appropriate people.
We have the
Of course you have full approval.
Yeah. We have the start of some Wisdom Saves merch, and I'm putting it in here because I'm going to will it into existence. We're gonna start doing stuff eventually. I don't know exactly when, but we will get there. So keep an eye out for that. But in terms of who we're gonna go say hello to, we're gonna go say hello to... They are not playing D&D anymore, but they were in the D&D section, so therefore it still counts, because I don't want to have to go and find more people to find. But we're gonna go say hello to someone who was doing the descent into Terra Incognita. I think that's homebrew. I think that's solid homebrew. But we're gonna go say hello is the important thing. Otherwise, appreciate your faces. We will be back again next week for more book club. We do have chocolatiers this Sunday as well. I think that's about all. Otherwise, appreciate your faces. We will see you next Tuesday. Bye.